Seniors, families, and everyone relying on SNAP benefits, I have to be very direct with you today because what I'm about to share could mean the difference between struggling through the end of the month or finally breathing a little easier when you go grocery shopping. The USDA has just confirmed new updates for both August and September 2025. And these aren't just routine notices. For millions of Americans, this means extra EBT money, earlier deposits, and in some cases, even back-to-back payments landing on your cards. Now, let's be honest, if you depend on SNAP, every single dollar matters. For many seniors living only on Social Security, SNAP is the lifeline that fills the gap when the check doesn't stretch far enough. For families with kids, those benefits are what keep fresh milk, bread, and fruit on the table, especially now with schools reopening and back-to-school costs piling up. And for single parents, SNAP isn't just a program, it's survival. That's why these August and September updates are so important, because they're designed to put real money back in your pocket right when you need it most. Think about this for a second. The average individual SNAP benefit in 2025 is around $191 a month. But that's just the baseline. If you're a couple, it could be closer to $535 per month. A family of four, over $973 a month. And while those numbers sound big on paper, anyone who's been to a grocery store lately knows how fast the money disappears. Eggs, meat, fresh produce, all of it adds up quickly. That's why when we hear the words extra EBT money or supplemental payment, it's not just good news, it's a game changer for households already counting every penny. But here's the catch, and this is where so many people slip up. SNAP payments don't arrive on the same day for everyone. Some states release benefits at the very start of the month, while others spread them out based on the last digit of your case number or Social Security number. And now, with supplemental payments being added in, you could actually see two separate deposits in your EBT account, one being your regular monthly allotment, and the other a special state-issued benefit meant to cover rising food costs. If you're not paying close attention, you might miss the second deposit altogether and not even realize the money is there. Let me give you an example. In states like Texas, Florida, and California, families have already reported seeing surprise deposits show up mid-month, even after their normal benefits had been delivered. One mother in Houston checked her balance, expecting only $191, but instead found nearly $450 sitting there because her state issued a supplemental benefit. Another case out of Pennsylvania involved a senior couple living on Social Security who saw their regular $535 payment arrive at the beginning of the month, but then an additional $95 showed up about 2 weeks later, extra money they didn't even know was coming until it appeared on their card. That's why today's update is critical. I'm going to take you through everything you need to know: who qualifies for the extra deposits, how much additional money each household size could receive, and the exact dates these payments are being rolled out in August and September. And by the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly when to check your EBT card so you don't leave a single dollar unspent. So stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll show you the state-by-state details and how these payments are being scheduled. Alright, now that we've set the stage, let's break this down step by step. SNAP payments for August and September 2025 are not just about your regular monthly benefits. They also include extra deposits in many states, thanks to leftover pandemic relief funds, state surplus programs, and food inflation adjustments that were approved earlier this year. Here's how it works. When the USDA issues the standard benefit amounts, that's your baseline $291 for individuals, $535 for couples, and around $973 for a family of four. That money is guaranteed as long as you're eligible and your state hasn't changed its distribution calendar. But on top of that, certain states are layering supplemental EBT payments into the system. These payments don't always show up at the same time as your regular SNAP money. Instead, they're often deposited in the second or third week of the month. Let's look at real examples. In California, families have reported getting their standard August SNAP benefits early in the month, then receiving an extra $95 to $120 later, depending on household size. In New York, the state has confirmed that supplemental food benefits are being rolled out through September, with payments staggered so households might actually see 2, even 3 deposits within the same 30-day period. Imagine the relief that brings. You're scraping by mid-month, checking your EBT balance, and suddenly there's another $100 or $200 sitting there ready to use. Meanwhile, in southern states like Texas and Florida, the distribution schedules are a little different. Texas spreads out payments between the 1st and 28th of the month. So depending on your case number, you might not see your SNAP money until the 3rd or even 4th week. But here's the good news. Those same households could also see bonus deposits arrive on non-standard dates. In Florida, for example, many families with children in school are getting extra back-to-school food assistance in late August and early September, meaning an extra deposit just as kids return to class. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but how do I know if I qualify for these extra payments? The answer is surprisingly simple. If you're already enrolled in SNAP, you don't need to apply again. The supplemental money is tied directly to your existing case. That means if you're an active SNAP recipient, the extra deposits should automatically show up on your EBT card. No extra paperwork, no reapplication, no separate phone calls. But here's the catch, and this is what trips people up every time. If your information with the state is out of date, like your mailing address or income status, your case could be flagged and your payments delayed. That's why it's so important to make sure your SNAP account is current and accurate right now. And let's talk timing, because timing is everything when it comes to SNAP. In August, many states are still catching up on their July distributions. That means some households are getting back pay deposits they didn't even expect. Then, starting in September, we're going to see a wave of early distributions as states prepare for the end-of-year adjustments. This is why some families will see deposits land twice in 1 month, the normal August payment, plus the early September payment hitting just days later. Think about what that means for a single person. Instead of only $291 in a given month, you could see closer to $400 or even $500 when supplemental deposits are factored in. For a couple, that $535 could stretch closer to $700. And for larger households, those numbers climb even higher. One family of 4 in Illinois recently reported getting nearly $1 to $100 in combined deposits across August and September money that allowed them to finally stock their pantry, buy bulk groceries, and not have to worry about stretching every meal. So here's the bottom line. If you receive SNAP, you need to check your EBT card balance, not just once, but multiple times throughout the month. Too many people assume the money only comes once, then miss the extra payments that roll out later. By checking regularly, you'll make sure no deposit slips past you. And before we wrap up, let me give you one last important reminder. SNAP is not charity, it's a program you paid into through your taxes, and it's designed to make sure no one in this country goes hungry. Whether you're a senior on Social Security, a parent feeding school-aged children, or a worker whose paycheck just doesn't stretch far enough, these benefits are here for you. And right now, with August and September rolling out extra payments, you have more support available than most people even realize. So don't miss it. Stay on top of your balance. Mark your state's payment calendar and double-check your EBT card throughout the month. Those extra deposits could be the lifeline that carries you and your family through. And as always, I'll keep you updated every step of the way.